Hey everybody, Mike from the Focus Garage coming at you with another video. And today we're going to be talking about another product from SoftBrake, and this time it's going to be what SoftBrake is most known for, their actual SoftBrake brake pedal. Now you may be wondering, what is that? Why do I need it? How does it compare to the aftermarket or my factory brake pedal? And just kind of what's the deal on that? So before we hop into the installation, I kind of want to explain to you what it is, why you may be interested in it, and what it's going to do for you overall in the way that it transforms your motorcycle. Now, as with all things SoftBrake, they're going to offer this in various configurations as far as what's going to fit best for you. With this particular brake lever, there are actually 45 different part numbers ranging as far as how much it's going to change the angle, if you're going to be adding any kind of length to the pedal, and the different finishes between chrome and black, as well as if you want it slotted, solid, as well as other couple different finishes there. So you've got a lot of variety as far as what's going to work for you and what you're going for as far as the look goes. And they've got four different, I guess, main variety of levers that you'll see on their website. Again, what's going to vary is going to be the width of them and the finishes of them. What the lever does, just with the regular lever itself, is it changes the degree of the brake lever by 20 degrees. So it takes, obviously the lever going from like that, and it brings it down a little bit. Now what that's going to do is it's going to put your foot in a more natural position when you go and you hit the brake lever on the motorcycle. By changing that angle by 20 degrees, what you're actually doing is gaining an inch in the way that your foot hits the brake pedal. Now what that's going to do for you is it's going to make everything safer, quicker to react, and more natural feeling. So you'll see in a second here, I'm going to show my foot with my shoe that I ride or boot that I wear when I ride, so you can see kind of what the motion looks like for me to press the brakes. And then you're going to see how that changes with the SoftBrake lever. Now, the biggest reason you'll want to do that, again, is for safety and comfort. What this lever is going to do is it's actually going to give you a 20-foot shorter stopping distance when going 30 miles an hour if you need a panic stop for any reason versus the stock lever. And it's going to do that again by dropping the angle of the brake lever by 20 degrees and freeing up that extra inch for your foot to be able to go ahead there and hit the pedal. So what I've got here in front of me are two different just varieties of the levers. You can see we've got one, give me one moment here, one in one hand here with the wider brake pedal, and then this one right here is going to be the more narrow brake pedal. What these are going to do is, again, they're going to change the angle of the lever as well as possibly adding some more leverage to it on the brake pedal versus the factory lever there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to hop into the installation. I'm going to show you kind of what you need to do to install this on the motorcycle. SoftBrake themselves do have a video installation of this, and that's what I'm going to be using to kind of follow to make sure that I'm using the right steps to get everything installed properly. So if you want to see a very detailed video of what you're doing for installation, go ahead and check them out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure to show you guys just kind of the differences on how this works versus stock and why you'd want to do it for your motorcycle. So let's jump into it. We'll kind of go ahead and show you what the stock brake pedal looks like, and then we'll take everything off, install the SoftBrake one, and show you kind of how it compares. So let's go ahead and check it out. So right now we've got the stock factory brake lever right here on the bike. What I want to go ahead and do and show you is the way my foot reaches up to touch that pedal when I go to brake. So I'm going to hop on the bike here. And this is a shoe that I ride when I wear. So assume that I'm riding the motorcycle and I've kind of got my foot just chilling like that there. Naturally, with the way my foot rests on the floorboard, if I need to brake, I need to kind of swing my foot up and over like that. Or if I'm riding, and I'm riding in a hazardous situation or I'm anticipating stopping, I'm already going to have my foot like this and I'm going to need to brake like that. But if I'm just kind of comfortably riding and I need to, for whatever reason, stop quickly, I've got to, move my entire foot. If it's down here, I can kind of like pivot it off my heel like that. But again, whereas with your driving a car, your foot's kind of more up on your heel here, and you can just, swipe your foot up and hit the brake. The way the stock lever sits up so high like this, it's not very intuitive and it's not very natural in the way that if I need to go ahead and stop, for me to touch that lever there. So again, you're resting and your foot's going to be under the pedal. You got to kind of go ahead and swing it up. It's just kind of not natural, kind of bulky and everything like that. So this is what that lever is going to change. It's going to take the way this pedal sits here and it's going to bring it down by 20 degrees. Again, what that's going to do is it's going to free up a ton of room for me to kind of rest my foot on the floorboard and to make tapping that pedal a lot more natural. So we're going to jump into that now. I'm going to go ahead and pull off the floorboard and the whole kind of pedal assembly here, and we're going to kind of give you a brief explanation of how all that works. And then we're going to go on throw on the SoftBrake pedal and show you this same exercise all over again, how different it is. So I'm down here kind of by the floorboard. First thing you're going to want to do is very easy. You're going to want to go ahead and fold the floorboard up. You got 2 bolts, one here, one here. You're going to want to put a wrench on the one side and a socket on the other, and just go ahead and pull the nuts off that secure the floorboard to the floorboard mounting bracket here. So I'm going to go ahead, pull off the floorboard, and we'll be right back. Now, with the floorboard removed, you've got a lot better access to kind of see what we're working at here. So the floorboard would have sat right here. We've got that removed. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this nut off that secures the whole brake lever to the motorcycle. Very easy. You'll pull the nut off, and then there's a little O-ring behind that. You're going to go ahead and save that. Now, the other thing you're going to have to worry about is removal of the brake pedal. So you can see here, my bike, since it is a Ultra, it's got the lower fairings right here, and then it's also got the wider brake pedal. So if you want to go ahead and retain that wider brake pedal, you're going to be looking for that in the SoftBrake catalog for the wider pedal when you go ahead and place your order. Another thing to note is with this style of pedal, this one does not use a nut to secure itself to the arm. It's got pretty much rubber that just stretches over the arm itself. So let me swing around here and I'll show you that. So as you can see here, unlike a lot of the traditional brake pedals where there'd be a nut holding it on right here, there's nothing. So you can see right in here, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and, per the SoftBrake instructions, spray some WD-40 in there to go ahead and loosen it up. And then there's a tab right here at the top and right here at the bottom where the pedal itself is kind of squeezed, kind of clamped over the lever itself. So you'll want to go ahead and remove that by sticking a screwdriver in here and kind of just peeling it off the factory arm. So you're going to go ahead and remove the nut that holds this to the motorcycle, and you're going to go ahead and remove the pedal from the lever itself. Once you're done with that, you're going to have to work at the master cylinder reservoir, and I'll show you what that looks like as soon as we get all of this stuff off right here. So we've gone ahead and we've removed the pedal cover. Like I said, your best bet is going to be to spray some lubricant, whether it's a white lithium grease spray or WD-40 or PB Blaster in between this. That way you can kind of get the lubricosity to get the pedal off. So you'll slip that off, and then below down here, you've got a nut, a washer, and an O-ring. They're all going to come right off there. So once you've got the pedal removed, or I guess the pedal cover, and this bolt or the nut down there removed, you've got 3 bolts to remove that are going to take off this whole master cylinder assembly. And don't worry, you don't need to support the engine or anything like that. Harley does call this an engine mount, but it's really more of a support bracket, so it's not like the motor's going to fall on the floor or anything. There's just 3 bolts. So 3 bolts you're going to go ahead and remove are not the ones that hold the floorboard brackets to the motorcycle. It's going to be the actual master cylinder bracket like I mentioned. So you've got this one, and then you've got this one. So 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and remove those, and you'll be able to pull this whole assembly off the motorcycle where you'll get access to the cotter pin, which is holding that to the motorcycle. Now, one of the beautiful things about this job is once you pull out those 3 bolts, you'll be able to pull this whole bracket off of the motorcycle. The coolest thing about this is you don't have to worry about bleeding brake fluid because, again, it doesn't lose any fluid. The hard lines have enough flexibility in them here. They are kind of like a plastic line, so it can swing down enough here to do that. And you don't have to worry about supporting the engine or anything because it's still totally supported. You'll be able to take this kind of little assembly out, switch out this arm, and swap it back in. The only thing left holding this arm to the motorcycle now is just this little cotter pin here. You're going to want to go ahead and bend it straight, pull it out, and then you've got this roll pin here that secures the brake arm to the motorcycle. So swap that out, then you can go ahead and push this all back in the motorcycle, bolt it all together, and then you're done. It is very, very simple. If you do have lower fairings on like an Ultra or an Ultra Limited or something like that, they do kind of get in the way a little bit, but again, just some wiggling. You don't have to remove anything, take anything out. Just kind of be careful with what you're doing there, and you can go ahead and get that out and gain access in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull, I'll show you a little bit closer there. You got this little cotter pin there, so I'm gonna pull the cotter pin out. We'll get this whole roll pin off that attaches it to the master cylinder there, swap out the levers, and then we'll be right back with everything reassembled, showing you what we've got. So before we throw everything together here, I do just want to give a big shout out to SoftBrake once again. The owner, Rick, is an amazing guy. He will answer any kind of questions you have about these parts, and he's more than happy to walk you through any kind of comparisons or just explanations that you need about his products. It's top-notch stuff. It's made in the USA, and here's the lever that we've got here. And then there is their information right there. If you need any more info about SoftBrake, go ahead and check that out. So what we've got to do here before we go ahead and install this is the part does come with a little bit of grease. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. Comes with brand new bearings inside here. So you just want to lubricate both of the bearings. There's 2 bearings in here, so you'll lubricate both of those bearings. And then we'll just slip it right back on to the master cylinder here. Pop the roll pin through, the cotter pin, throw it all back together, and we will show you what we're looking at when we got everything back together. Installation is reversal of removal. That's not really that big of a deal. So we'll go ahead and we'll pop this lever on. This particular one I got here is black, and you can see it's kind of got the slotted going on there. Great look, great product. The part number on this product is right there if you do want to purchase this exact one. Again, I've got the wide pedal. All the part numbers are very self-explanatory on SoftBrake's website, so that's what you're looking at here for this exact pedal. I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall everything and we'll check right back in. One other thing I do want to note before you start reassembly is that there's an O-ring in here. Please make sure that stays in place. If it does not stay in place, make sure you put it back in place before you put everything back together. Mentioned that SoftBrake does provide grease for the new arm, as well as a brand new cotter pin for the new arm. So you don't got to worry about reusing any of that stuff. However, the 2 O-rings, you do have to make sure that they are in place when you put everything back together. So again, on the outside of the lever here, an O-ring is going to go into that. And then on the inside edge there, there's an O-ring there. So please make sure those are in place before you throw everything back together. Now, we've gone ahead and we've got the SoftBrake installed. Like I said, installation is exactly the reversal of the removal. So once you get everything back together, this is what it's going to look like. You can drastically tell the difference of it here just by how much farther ahead this pedal is. So rather than it, being kind of more up here and awkward for you to press your foot on, you've got obviously now the nice sleek black arm with it, but the pedal has been put in a much more natural position. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hop back on the motorcycle and I'm going to show you just how much better this pedal is for where my foot will rest. So here we are again, riding on the motorcycle, and this is where my foot sits now. So rather than me being kind of awkwardly under the pedal is now in front of my foot. I went with the +1 pedal, meaning that it brings it further a little bit. You can see it's about as close as I can get to the lower fairing. If you wanted to go any bit farther, you would have to have a touring bike with just crash bars or no lower fairings or anything like that. So with this is as far as I could bring it. I'm about 6 foot tall, wearing a size 11, just to give you reference there. But with this, what's going to happen is when I go to raise my foot, depending on where my foot is, I can pivot my heel now to stop the brake. I'm not lifting my foot. All I got to do is just either slide my foot forward or just pivot my heel, depending on how I'm riding. So it's so much more natural and it clears. You can see, we're right in the fairing there. I can go ahead and put the brake all the way down. Nothing's pressing. All we've gone ahead and done is change the leverage that I have on the motorcycle with the brake pedal. So again, bam, just bam, it's much quicker. I'm not pivoting my ankle around. I'm not getting caught underneath the pedal because it's sitting above my toes. It's much, much more intuitive to just bam. Moving forward, bam. So you're sitting on the floorboard and you get more room too. So that's another benefit of that pedal. With it moving to where it is now, I have more unobstructed room for my feet when I'm riding down the road. Plus, you can't go wrong with the added benefit of the pedal looking, you've got this kind of machine black finish there. The stock brake pedal fit right over it fine there, so there's no issues with that. Everything fits and finishes exactly the way it would stock. You're not modifying anything to your bike. It's pretty much a direct bolt on, bolt off a fair here, the floorboard, everything. So I didn't modify anything. Depending on how extreme of a angle you're going and everything like that, SoftBrake offers floorboard spacers, which again, if you're tall, it'll make the bike more comfortable. They go ahead and install where the floorboards mount to the motorcycle frame, and they'll bring the floorboards out more, giving you even a little bit more room. They only offer those in one size, but again, they do offer floorboard spacers, which will take your floorboard and move them outboard just a little bit, depending on the pedal setup that you have, and just so you to have more room, for your legs to come down to be more comfortable when you're cruising down the road there. So they've got a lot of variety for kind of comfort setup and just, kind of genius there, the way it makes everything feel so much better when you're riding, depending on how you want it set up. So I'm gonna have everything linked in the description down below. I am very, very happy with the overall aesthetic of that piece and the way it functions. Again, you can see there, kind of just get a better idea of the new angle of the way it sits in relation to the floorboard versus the way it sat before. It's a total game changer. I absolutely love the way this part looks. I love the way this part functions, and it's going to give me the comfort that I need, especially with, my feet and my legs and everything like that. It's going to be even safer to ride the bike. Again, like I pointed out earlier, this is going to save you 20 to 30 feet, even at low speed, panic braking stop situations, just because you're not getting your foot caught up in an awkward situation. You're not getting stuck under the pedal. You're not moving your foot as far to hit the brake. Your whole motion of you stepping on this pedal now is much more intuitive, it's natural feeling, and it's just gonna happen overall quicker. So that's gonna wrap it up for this one. As you can see, we've got the SoftBrake brake pedal installed, and it's an absolute improvement over the stock piece in the way that it functions. It's gonna make your bike more comfortable to ride, it's gonna make it safer to ride, and it's just gonna make it more enjoyable to ride. Again, like I said, you're gonna pick up, anywhere about 20 to 30 feet at 30 miles an hour from low speed, quick stop situations. And it's gonna be more comfortable, without having your foot stuck underneath the pedal and where you sit on the floorboard. If you're even a little bit taller, you have a little bit bigger shoe, they offer the floorboard spacer kits as well. Everything that is installed in this video will be linked in the description down below, and I truly encourage you to check out SoftBrake. They're an amazing company, they make amazing products, and they function so well. Rick, the owner, has been doing this for a very long time, 25 or 30 years now. Everything is made in the USA, and they have fantastic customer service. Rick's also a real funny guy as well, so that's definitely a great thing as well for a company. We've got one more part coming up from SoftBrake in future videos. We're going to be installing some of their shifter related items, so definitely stay tuned to check that one out. That'll wrap it up for this brake lever or brake pedal installation. Should you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.